part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
"45, 50, 45, 40, run, William, run! He's got blockers in front, 5, touchdown! Joshua Cribbs turns disaster into a score! Kick block! They blocked the kick!
Okay, before we get started, Holly, I got to put my people on to this thing that we got going. DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Buckeye State. It won't be long until you can bet on all your favorite from the comforts of your own home. To celebrate, all new customers receive $200 in free bets when you sign up today using code P3Browns. Plus, 5 lucky customers will win a $100,000 bet. That's right. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you $200 in free bets just for signing up today. No deposit required. Soon, you'll be able to bet on money lines, spreads, props, and more with one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps, DraftKings Sportsbook. Plus, you'll be entered to win $100,000 free bet when you sign up. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with code P3Browns to get $200 in free bets to use once mobile sports betting hits Ohio. Plus, 5 customers will win a $100,000 free bet. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code P3Browns. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966. 21 and older. Physically present in Ohio. Eligibility restrictions apply. See terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. 1 per customer. $200 issued at $825 free bets. No purchase necessary. Sweepstakes. Void where prohibited. In first day DraftKings operated in Ohio. See terms at dkng.com/OH.
Good stuff, Tyvis. We love some DraftKings. Welcome into the Orange is Oranger. I am Holly Wetzel. That is Tyvis.
I'm the thug, Tyvis Powell, but you know, that's another story. I have to tell y'all about that later.
No. No. What conversation were we having, by the way, that you said that I should say that's what you are? And I was like, I can't say that. I can't say that about you. What do you mean?
You was it was at ESPN Cleveland. It was Riz. Riz had said something about me, and I was like, you should have corrected him and said the thug. You mean the thug?
I said, yeah, let me say that for sure. That'll go up for real.
Listen, everybody knows me by that. You know, that's my name.
Oh God. Well, Tyvis, here we are. We finally got through the initial return of Deshaun Watson. It's come and gone. It has been talked about over and over and over. And honestly, it was rather flat in pretty much every aspect, from the hype to, the fans to the protesters to the play.
I didn't even hear
on the field.
I forgot the protesters was even there. I mean, they didn't even need to sit in this suite. The way the stands looked, they could have walked a long way down if they wanted to be closer.
The accusers or whatever. Yeah, they didn't show them on TV, which was obviously, there was no way Goodell was going to be having that. But yeah, it was rather quiet. Obviously, I think there was so much hype around it. I think it's going to be a little bit crazier for him in Cleveland next Sunday than it was in Houston.
No, what do you think? It's gonna be crazier for him in Cincinnati because
you think
the fans is gonna be there. Their team is doing well. They're gonna show up and support. And you know how fans want to do anything they can to help their team win. And if you can get into the mind of the quarterback before the game even starts by just saying some outlandish and crazy stuff, then by all means, because they're trying to do everything they can to help Cincinnati win because they haven't won yet. So I would think it'd be very amped up and crazy in Cincinnati. And plus, they're like 4 hours away from Cleveland. So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the Bengals game coming up. But yeah, it was, pretty underwhelming in a lot of aspects. Boy, oh boy. let's put it this way, Tyvis, did you think that there was going to be 0 offensive touchdowns, 2 defensive touchdowns, a special teams touchdown? Was that on your Browns bingo card for Deshaun's return?
To give myself some credit, on the Cleveland show, I did say that the defense was going to outshine D. Watt's return, and I said they was going to get 2 takeaways. They ended up getting 3. I didn't think any of them would go for touchdowns, but I did think that the defense was going to outshine him, which they did. So I called me Miss Cleo.
Well, you did also say on here, though, that he would not have any interceptions.
I did say that.
Oh.
And that was
and the holes in Miss Cleo. There you go.
That interception was just, first of all, I see what he's seen. Like when I went back and looked at it, I get why he did that, because he felt the play action worked so good. The linebackers they bid on it, and the safety, he thought the safety would go one-on-one and take the over route. And if the safety takes the over route, boom, Amari Cooper's wide open in the back. But the safety actually does a great thing, drops it. This is what happens when you communicate. You drop it because your corner has no work, and the corner calls him off of it, takes the over route. The safety just stands there and throws him a pick. So that's really what happened in that. It's just great communication by the Texans.
Yeah, and look, it was certainly not like riding a bike as he hoped that it would be. And he said that he felt every single one of those 700 days. He said, however long I've been out, I felt every single one of those days. So I'm sure, I knew that there was going to be a little bit of rust, right? I think we all expected that. Do you think that Stefanski and the Browns expected him to be that rusty?
So this is the thing. Obviously, you've been hearing about him in practice. These players been ranting and raving about, he throws the perfect ball and all of that. But, it's a difference. Practice and game speed is 2 totally different things. So I think they were anticipating that, he wasn't going to be able to connect on a lot of things. Like, I think that they knew that some passes was going to be ugly. I didn't think they thought that he would throw them, like, to the ground. Like, to me, when a player says that they're rusty, like, that means, like, Amari Cooper's running an over route, and instead of putting it on the money, you throw it a little bit behind him, or you threw it behind him because your timing is off. I didn't think he would throw him at his feet.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what I will say is this. This is the positive, because, I'm positive. I'm always,
you are.
You got to look at the bigger picture, Holly. This one, you got to look at the bigger picture.
I know it.
The biggest picture I've taken away from this game is a couple of things. Actually, one, your defense is good enough to actually win you games. Yes, I know the Texans offense is terrible. Yes, I get that. But your defense showed that they can step up, see that an offense is struggling, and say, hey, you know what? We got this. I know Jacoby Brissett's probably mad on the sideline because he's probably like, what is this? Y'all should have been doing this, but that's neither here nor there. They stepped up, was able to get things done. Boom. Special teams. Everybody was screaming, fire Mike Prefer. He ain't did nothing. He got DPJ to get a touchdown on the return, and they ended up getting a fumble recovery. So that's 2 positives for that. And lastly, the thing about Deshaun Watson, the positive thing that I took away from it was that I think going into this game, he even said it in his post game. He said that the thing he wanted to do is, this is the second time he's ever heard Kevin Stefanski give him plays, and he had to go give the play to the team. So he wanted to get in and out of the huddle, make sure everybody communicated the thing, which that was smooth. They had no delayed games. They had no problems with communication. So that's a positive. The second positive is that Deshaun Watson actually understood what the Texans was doing. So at quarterback, when Cardell comes on, he says you got to read and figure out what coverage that they're in. He was actually identifying the coverage that they were in, and he was actually making the right read and going to the right person. So that's the positive. He identified where he was supposed to go with the football. Now, the ball obviously he threw it to their feet, but the positive is that he actually understands exactly where to go with the ball. He just has to make those plays. And then the last thing that I took away from it was, he still got that ability to escape pressure. He had that one run where they had him pretty much wrapped up. He got out of it, and obviously he threw the ball to their feet, but he showed that he still got it. And then they called some design runs from him. He took off, and it's all there. That's the thing, is he still has it there. I think They say that when I play football, they say the biggest improvement is always from week 1 to week. And if you think about it, it's the same thing with Jacoby Brissett. The Carolina game, he missed Amari Cooper a bunch of times.
Yeah,
then
he was pretty bad.
Then the next week against the Jets, they was like clicking on all cylinders. So I'm expecting the same thing with Deshaun Watson. So that's my take off the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it was the Texans. I think, selfishly, when I think about the NFL and them wanting this to be the first game back, and we all really thought this was going to be a major, major thing, and it just was the complete opposite. And the Texans suck, and thank God we played them for his opening, because I don't know.
That ain't gonna cut it.
No. And I know that I'm glad that everything else started to click. I'm glad that the defense actually won us a game, and special teams finally showed up this season, and all of those things. I'm happy for DPJ. He 2 years ago, he couldn't barely field a punt. So I'm happy. I'm glad that he's feeling confident. He's feeling good.
But here comes the but. Negative Nancy. Let's hear it.
I was actually still on a proactive.
Keep going.
I was going to talk about Tony Fields.
Okay.
Pick 6, forced fumble recovery. Okay.
Talk about it.
All right. See, I'm happy that there was other. There was.
No, the way you was
the
way you was presenting it, you was about to say but. So go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna eventually get to the but.
That's the problem.
But I wasn't done highlighting.
No, you're building them up to shoot them down, man.
No, I'm not. Do that. No, I'm taking everyone back down to reality, okay? Because it was the freaking Houston Texans. So it's barely like an expansion team, for God's sakes. And we had to win that game. I mean, can you imagine if we would have lost that game? Like that first half of football, I was like, what in the actual F am I watching? Like, this is crap.
Way to censor it for our children listeners.
I did this time. I'm trying. I'm trying to get better. So the first half, I was like, what? This is atrocious. Like, this is trash. Like, it just was on both sides. It was so bad.
You knew that it was going to be like,
I didn't know it was going to be a borderline bloodbath the first half. Okay. No, you didn't.
The man hasn't played.
No, all over the. I mean, it was a mess on both sides. Houston's were terrible. I mean, it was an awful game. Okay, and I even texted you about that. But there's the but.
Here it is.
But no, it's just coming back down to reality. I mean, we have to look. We can't be riding any real high.
No, before you say this. Wait a minute. Ain't nobody riding anything. You know how many calls I got in the post-game show?
Well, I know you're not. Look, you know as well as I do that it only takes something like this small to be breadcrumbing us. Remember breadcrumbing from last week, Tyvis? Remember breadcrumbing?
Yeah, I like the term selling a dream. Hey, see that? It's selling the dream. They
selling the dream
like it's about to be great, and then boom, reality hits.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, so it was a must win. We had to win that game. There's no other way around it. I'm glad that there was adjustments made. I'm glad that Stefanski, I think Deshaun threw, maybe 8 times the second half. We went back to running the ball, and I'm glad that he was able to get probably more reps in and more than he probably would have against any other team. So joke's on you, NFL. Matchup sucked. So
actually, the thing I liked the most was that for the first time in a very long time, Kareem Hunt looked like Kareem Hunt. Like that. That man been MIA for a while.
Well, he was getting fresh, right? Didn't Stefanski say like we're getting ready for December football, and like these guys are gonna be fresh in here, and
So it worked. They are the most analytically used team in the NFL. I've seen that stat today.
Yeah, they sure are.
I don't know how I feel about that. And then the funniest thing is I got those old put Jacoby Brissett call in. Damn.
Oh, of course you did.
When I got that, I started laughing because me and Jeff always predict what calls we're gonna get. What are they gonna say? And I said for sure we get that one. Jacoby Brissett need to go back.
I know.
That's hilarious.
Well, because of course that's going to come. I mean, do you think though too? Like, say we just get blown out next week, or they're riding Deshaun till the cows come home, right? I mean, this is we're just going.
If we get blown out and we lose playoff contention, it's even more reason to play him now.
Yeah.
We go out there and call whatever to make sure next year he's fresh because he needs every rep he can get. If they lose and they're out of the playoffs, it's all about preparing for next season. So he's ready for next year. So yeah.
What if he plays?
The only way number 7 is jogging out on that field, let me knock on wood, is if number 4 get hurt. That's the only way he going out there.
What if he plays the way he played the first half next game?
For $230 million, do you see Russell Wilson?
I'm throwing things out there. That's what I'm doing.
You see Russell Wilson still playing?
He's doing. What was he doing on the airplane? On the plane back?
Warm up, but what was he doing? Warm ups?
Something on the in the
high knees,
high knees in the aisle.
Yeah. You see Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson. You see that the Jets is thinking about going back to Zach Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For 200, I can tell you, I can give you 230 million reasons why Deshaun Watson will not lead the field.
Side note, random. Did you hear about Baker?
Yeah, he's an LA guy.
He might be playing on Thursday night.
I seen that too. I don't know how that.
You know what? Put him out there and let him just nosedive. You know.
Wait, who are they playing? Are they playing the Raiders? Right?
They're playing. That's a great question.
I think it's the Raiders. If they playing, now the Raiders cooking right now. So if it is them, then
Yep, it's the Raiders.
Yeah, I put him out there for maybe a series or two, but I'm not. No,
his wife's all over social media already, reposting. You're in LA now, Super Bowl. Like,
they think about it. Everybody want to be in the limelight, you know. Everybody in LA, you're in the light, you're in that lifestyle, you're in this celebrity mecca. So you know that's why everybody like.
Well, that's what he loves. Listen, the limelight.
Tupac made a whole song about it. It's called "To Live and Die in L.A." That's the place to be.
Did I tell you that on my runs I've been doing like old school, like 90s hip hop, and I've been doing it like year by year for all my runs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Look at you. Okay. What was today? What year was you in today?
I was on 99 today. I mean, I've been making my way through. I started in like 91. Like I've been going.
Was dead then by then.
I know, but I've been making my way up. I've been going through. So
I don't know.
Jamming out.
I'm up to. I can't get past 2 miles on my runs. That's neither here
past 2 miles.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there.
Are you going 2 miles straight?
Yeah,
like the whole time.
I drive.
What's your mileage? What's your time?
I dropped 2 minutes off of it. I used to do it in 20 minutes. Now I do it in 18.
Oh, that's very good.
That's what I'm saying, man. But I ain't got the proper running shoes. I gotta get some new running shoes.
Are you running outside or are you running on the track?
No, I'm
or inside.
So it's not that I'm fatigued. When I hit 2 miles, I'm not fatigued, but my calves be hurting. So it's like they get real tight. So I just stop.
Oh, you're getting old.
It's sad. Comes with the territory, you know?
I know. Well, good. I'm glad you're running. Let me know if you have any tips, or you need any tips, I should say.
Mrs. 4 Mile, you do yours on a track or you do bleachers?
Well, no, I on the days I don't run, I do bleachers. There's 30 steps up, 30 down, and I do that 50 times.
You keep that.
And then running. Well, I ran tonight. No, I like to run outside. Like I need to be. I don't like running inside. It's just not.
You're a scenic.
I don't care.
Scenic.
Yeah. So I did forward tonight. But it was like 50 degrees out. So
that's not bad.
I'll take it. All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
Speaking of track stars.
He's out.
Anthony Schwartz, man. I
feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
No, I do. I feel bad for the kid. I really do because he's dealing with mental health problems. He even did a whole article.
Yeah, so am I. I told you that. But I'm not getting paid millions of dollars to go for my job.
That's Holly. That's shallow. See, people think, and this is the problem with the common fan. Y'all think because somebody's making that much money that that they feelings is supposed to not get hurt.
I know. Well, it just makes it hard to feel bad for someone. Look, of course I do. Mental health is obviously a very serious thing. I struggle with it every day of my life. I feel very bad for him. But his play outside of that has just been.
Listen, did he catch the ball before? You thinking about the negatives? You thinking about because he fumbled?
You hold on to that ball.
Did
of course.
Did he catch it or not?
Yeah, and 2 seconds later it was out of his hands.
No, everybody's been mad at him for catching the ball. He did the first thing. He caught the ball. So the other one can be fixed. You know, you just got to have some ball security after you catch it. But he caught the ball. That means he's trending up, Holly. You got to think positive.
What is he in concussion protocol now?
Yeah, he's out. He's out.
Well,
that's why Demetric Felton was in, which he ain't played slot since the preseason, but see, he got a ton of reps in the slot.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that stinks. I mean, he was, like we've, beat this horse to death of how much he's just was. I was so high on him when we first got him. It just sucks, but that's what happens.
When he rushes the ball, we're undefeated. So this is a big deal.
I know.
Big hit to the Browns offense.
Well, it was to wrap up the Texans. I mean, I'm glad we got out of there, relatively unscathed. I think at the end we wanted to, let's just take this win and get the hell out of here.
That's what it was in the second half for sure. They we just gonna run the ball and let's get on up out of here.
Yeah. So we look.
Oh, wait a minute! You missed the biggest thing that happened was we ain't got Taki for the rest of the year.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yeah, that was on my
huge deal because that man was balling at the mic.
I know. Yep. It's really hard. I mean, that middle linebacker. We're screwed. What is Deion Jones coming in now? Right? Is that the plan?
I think he is at the mic now. It's gonna be interesting because I don't know who.
Yeah, Taki's been having a season. It sucks.
Tony Fields.
What is he? What do you ask me?
Is Tony Fields moving the wheel?
No, I thought they're putting in Deion Jones for there. Is it?
Who at the mic then? Is Mike, Will, Sam? I know. No, the wheel is JOK. Who is at the Sam then? They might have to just, you know what? It doesn't matter for this game because
we have anyone anymore? Like it's so bad.
It doesn't matter. It won't matter for Cincinnati because they run 11 personnel, so the nickel will be on the field majority of the game anyway. So all you need is JOK and somebody else. Oh, Deion Jones. There you go. That's your 2 linebackers right there.
Yes, that's right. All right. Well, we'll talk Cincinnati, but before we do. It's time, Ohio. We have just a couple weeks left before betting is going to be legal in Ohio, which is really exciting. And DraftKings Sportsbook is going to be your go-to to make all of your bets. So to celebrate DraftKings coming to Ohio on January 1st, all new customers will receive $200 in free bets when you sign up today using code P3Browns. Plus 5 lucky customers will win a $100,000 free bet, which is huge. DraftKings is giving you $200 in free bets just for signing up today. No deposit required. And you'll be entered to win a $100,000 free bet when you sign up. You'll be able to bet on the money line, spreads, props, and more with DraftKings Sportsbooks. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, today. Hurry up, go. And sign up with P3 Browns to get $200 in free bets to use once mobile sports betting hits Ohio. Plus, 5 customers will win a $100,000 free bet. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code P3 Browns. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966. 21 and over. Physically present in Ohio. Eligibility restrictions apply. See terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing agreements, 1 per customer. $200 issued as 8 $25 free bets. No purchase necessary for sweepstakes. Void where prohibited. Ends first day. DraftKings is allowed to operate in Ohio. See terms at dkng.com/OH.
Hey everybody, it's Sam Amico from Cavs on the Break NBA podcast. Be sure to give us a listen for all your Cleveland Cavaliers recaps, analysis, breakdowns, draft talk, free agency. The list goes on and on. Give us a listen, Cavs on the Break NBA podcast.
Looking for new insights on the Cleveland sports scene with a unique side of Cleveland sports history? Then you found the perfect podcast. I'm John Sable.
And I'm Scott Sable, and we're hosts of the Sable Brothers on the Baseline podcast, a podcast about Cleveland sports, but not your typical podcast about the land's sports teams. Join us as we embark on a journey of sharing a unique and historical side of Cleveland sports history with the help of some former Cleveland sports stars and other historical figures.
All right here on the Sable Brothers on the Baseline podcast, part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
All right, we are back on the Orange is Oranger. I'm Holly, that's Tyvis. Big matchup this week.
Yes, it's one of those ones that we've been waiting for. I mean, obviously we was kind of robbed a little bit. Obviously, it went in our favor, but we was robbed of a good matchup, especially from all that trash talking since in the off season. So we finally got everybody healthy, and it should be a show. I mean, they cooking. They coming off of a big win against Kansas City. Just like how the Browns got their number, they got Kansas City's number.
Sure do.
It'd be interesting, though, because I think Joe Mixon comes back this game. And to be honest with you,
Jamar Chase is in this game. He wasn't in the last matchup.
To be honest with you, if they were smart, they would utilize Joe Mixon and P. Ryan this whole game. I mean, that's what I would like, because the Browns' Achilles heel is running the ball. But the problem is it's been so much trash talking that the receivers got to prove something. So with that being said, they're going to be slinging the rock around. And I think the Browns is perfectly suited for that. And that's why the Browns have had Cincinnati's number. And on the flip side of that, if you go offensively, I just don't think that they do well with stopping the run. I think that if you got a good running back, you can always get ahead of those guys. And obviously Nick Chubb has his best games against them for some odd reason. I don't really expect anything to change, especially with Deshaun Watson. The box is going to be lighter now because somebody has to account for Deshaun. So Nick Chubb and Kareem should really have a big day.
Yeah, I mean, I think, right, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I think we know if this has been our pattern with them. I think I looked it up, we're 7-2 with the last 9 meetings of that. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And like you said, we're going to have Chubb and Hunt, fresh legs as Stefanski.
What was they nickname at the beginning of this year?
For who?
Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. What was everybody calling them? That dude.
It's always been Chunt, right?
Yeah, that's it. I would never say that. If you butcher that, it's over with.
I was nervous before I said it. I'm like, whoa. That was a little shaky. I know. Yeah, the duo. I mean, I love when they're in together. We talked about this. I obviously history is on our side with them. And look, if we win, we got Baltimore. And if Lamar Jackson's out.
Oh, he's out. He's out 1 to 3 weeks.
It is official 1 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
This might be a really good push for us. Bengals are 8-4. God, the Steelers are right. They're same with us, 5-7.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
We win, they win. I'm like, man, everybody trying to stay alive in this thing.
Did you see the clip of some guy being like, "Good work, Mike Tomlin," and he was like,
trying to coach.
I'm trying to fucking work or something. Like, shut the fuck up.
You were supposed to censor yourself.
He didn't.
Well,
he's just repeating.
He's getting paid millions of dollars.
Oh, is that when that comes in? When you're allowed to use that excuse?
You don't see, do I be cursing? I don't even get paid millions. That's sad. Yeah, maybe I could.
I curse a lot. I don't mean to, but it's just very easy. It's very easy for me. It just rolls off the tongue. All of them.
You one of the ones that can put together a mean combination, huh?
Yeah, but there's certain words I will not use. Like the "see you next Tuesday." I don't ever use that, and I don't like it.
Oh yeah.
Have you not heard that before?
No, I did not.
Oh my gosh.
I don't listen. I
It's
don't
two
go
for
out.
2 on 2 weeks of me teaching you stuff.
I don't go out. So I
Well,
stay.
that has nothing to do with going out.
It does. I need to get out more. But, yeah, by the way, this has nothing to do with this podcast. And I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I have to express this. You know the term acquired taste?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you drink beer, they like it's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
I never understood what it truly meant until yesterday. So listen, this is serious. I been drinking Perrier water. I think that's how you
Oh,
pronounce it.
you fancy ass.
Yeah. Listen, I done made a couple dollars now. So I said, I want to try this sparkling thing.
Water only, Lauren.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I'm drinking it, and I tell the lieutenant, I was like, here, you want some of this? And she sips it and says, this is terrible. And I said, it's an acquired taste. It tastes like regular water to me now. Like I've been drinking it for like a week.
How many? Oh, it only took a week.
Yeah, it's acquired taste, man.
What do you how do you like how many do you drink a day?
Like two at the most.
And you just do you have it over ice? Like what do you have?
It's room temp.
No, you did not.
Room temp.
What is wrong with you?
I'm about to go.
That's an acquired taste. That's a bad acquired taste.
Yeah, room temp. It goes down pretty smooth, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. You
water.
would drink Perrier at room temperature.
Yeah, what's wrong with it? Well, to be fair, it's like a little chill. It's not like hot. It's like it's got a little chill to it.
A chill from where?
I don't know. My wife don't run the heat all the time, so it's cold.
Oh, well, smart woman. I don't either because it gets too damn hot. We're always running hot, us females.
Yeah. So yeah, but anyway.
So before we went off on the acquired taste and the swear words and see you next Tuesday, we were talking about the Browns maybe possibly making a run. We talked about the Steelers, talked about just the AFC North is just a boy, oh boy, it's a hot box. And there's a lot of moving parts and it ain't over till it's over. And I think it's great that that's the mentality in the locker room.
This division's always been like this. Division's always been pretty close.
It has.
I'm not expecting it.
Well, outside for the Browns.
Yeah, about that.
But
I mean, what we had two teams get into the playoffs last year, the Bengals and the Steelers. So yeah, it's always gonna go down to the end, to them last couple of weeks, which is great because that means the Browns always got a chance. They just have
meaningful football.
Yeah,
that's what we need.
They just have to find a way to continue to win, and it really comes off of the fact if Deshaun Watson has shaken the rust or not, which I'm pretty confident. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be back to his old self, but I think he'll be much better as far as throwing the ball than he was last week.
Yeah, I mean, look, that was his, quote unquote week 1 last week. This is going to be week 2, and we hope to see some major improvements. I mean, as well as anybody, the pace of going, I mean, you went from college to NFL, but he's, went from nothing for the past 2 years to straight into the NFL, back into it, I should say. So, yeah, I mean, I know it's going to take him some time. I think that from a Browns fan standpoint, we've been sold this idea of him and this amazingness and what they see in practice. And I think even if he gives us a little bit of a glimpse of it next week, even with a play, even with one throw, some really great throw to Amari. I mean, something that I think will give Browns fans a little bit of breadcrumbs, then I think we're going to be in a good spot, and there won't be hopefully those calls because Tyvis, if they lose next week, I don't want to be on your end of trying to answer those phone calls on the post-game show.
Depends on the fashion that they lose. Listen, I'm just there to say what I see. That's so I don't really. If the defense continues to play like they play, then Deshaun Watson has a chance. And to me, I think it all comes with I think all it really takes for a guy like him. I think when he broke those 2 tackles and he scrambled out and threw that ball, if he would have completed that pass, I think that would have been what he needed. I think he's a guy that needs to make.
He needs a win. He needs a good drive.
He just need one of them plays where he did something crazy and throw a dime to somebody. He gonna be like, "All right, I'm back. It's over with. Y'all in trouble now." Trust me, I'd have been there.
For sure.
I know. You get out there, you do one thing, it's like, all right, I'm back now. That's all I needed. And I think that's what he needs. I pray it comes early in the Cincinnati game. If he just make one of those spectacular plays, which he actually started becoming dangerous with his leg. Like I say, on the one run, I was like, hit him with the dead leg and everything. I said, oh yeah, he still got it. So I think as it goes on, he just got to figure out a way to get it. I say like this game, he had pretty much an entire game to shake the rust. If he's still rusty this next game, he only got about a quarter. He got about 1 quarter to be rusty, and then it has to be great for the next. If they get too far behind, it might be.
It's done. Yeah. And Bengals are hungry, man, and they're waiting. They're chomping at the bit to get this win from the Browns, and it's I think it's going to be a really great matchup. I'm excited. Myles Garrett also plays as well as he has against the Bengals. I mean, he certainly has Joe Burrow's number. I mean, I wish it was going to be in Cleveland, but
I'd have made
it's
it
all
a
right.
little bit better. But like I say, the thing,
Ravens are home though, so that'll be
interesting. We should get that one now that they had their backup quarterback.
We should. That puts us in. That would make us what? So we're 5-7. That would make us even. How about it? I'll tell you. If we got there to where we were before the Bucs game, that you would have told me we would have been 7-7. No way. I would say that your sparkling water was spiked.
Man, why? What has gotten you like this?
Why
are you just negative Nancy?
How is that a negative? What have the Browns done to make you think that's something that would be easily achieved before the Bucs game?
Blew out the Cincinnati Bengals.
One game.
They show you that.
That's it. That's all it took. The Bengals game.
This is the thing, Holly. Holly.
Be breadcrumbing forever over there.
Here's the thing. If you have the ability to, once you put it on tape like that, that's the standard now. So to me,
no, is it the exception or the rule? This is what we've talked about.
You put it on tape. That's how they taught me. If you go out there and you put something on tape from now on, if you don't do
as well
this,
as I do that shit doesn't stick.
No.
It doesn't.
If you don't do this from now on, you stealing, you robbing this team, you sabotaging this team because you didn't already showed us that you got the ability to do it. So you need to have this same standard. And so when I seen that Cincinnati game, the way our D-line played, I expect them to play like that every game. I don't care if Myles Garrett is hurt or not. He showed that he has the ability to turn it on when it's necessary. So that's what he needs. Absolutely. He got to do it. Did nobody tell him to go out there and drive that car like that? He got to go out there and he got to put it on tape every week. And then afterwards, it is what it is. Somebody will help him get his shirt off after the game for sure. They'll help him get undressed.
Absolutely. Here for the services if necessary. Just kidding. All right, Tyvis, what's your prediction?
You are really sick. Wow.
Why?
Wow.
Oh, really? That makes me a sick person.
27-14 Brown. So I think Nick Chubb's gonna have a big game. Pass rush gonna come to life. Obviously to offset Myles Garrett in that pass rush, they're gonna throw a lot of bubbles and screens and now screens to Jamar Chase. That'll be the way to try to slow that pass rush down. But I think that they'll make some adjustments. Joe Woods is gonna make some adjustments.
Oh, we better.
And he's gonna ultimately shut them down.
Look, I'm gonna go with history on our side with this one. I'm poly positive over here, so I will say I think the Browns go. I say 30-24 Browns. I think they get it by a touchdown.
Nice.
Burrow is playing his best football. Their offensive line is giving him all the time in the world. It's going to be tough, but I think that, we have history on our side. So crossing my fingers.
Yeah, the Browns go down there and win in a convincing fashion.
Yeah, changes everything.
And they've been point shaving this whole year.
It changes everything. And like you said, I think, boy, Deshaun's got a small window to, be living in that rust.
Well, Nick Chubb got his back.
So.
And in that worst case scenario, they could turn this thing into a two-headed monster. They can sit there and run Nick Chubb and D-Wide and run quarterback option or quarterback read all day long. They can zone read it all day long. Pull it. If they crash out on Nick Chubb, pull it, take off. If they don't, give it to Nick Chubb, he gonna get yards. So it can turn into that. And
I think we're going to see a lot of Kareem in this game too. I think that's why he's, supposedly going to be nice and fresh. So, good matchup. All right. Well, we're both going with dubs. We'll see where we're at next week.
Big dub.
Big dubs. All right. Well, for Tyvis, I don't know what you were just doing there.
Jameis Winston.
Oh, yeah, it is. That's really attractive. You're a sick person. How do you like it? For Tyvis, I'm Holly. This is the Orange is Oranger. Thanks for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment. Send us a message on Twitter, Instagram. Questions. All the above. And I'm going to let Mr. Powell take us out.
Go Browns. We are back. And we are rolling. Get in the way, we get rolled over. Let's go.